Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. This is a Cut Above Knife and Leather company. We've got a little bit of organization, as you see. We've cleaned up our backdrop, supporting the old red, white, and blue. I apparently offended somebody by having an American flag on here, so you know what? We'll stick with it. I support it. I'm a veteran. I'm a firefighter, so red, white, and blue all the way, baby. So today we've got a customer set of knives here. Got some projects heading out. Got a project we're finishing up. Check out this video. It'll be uploaded later this week. It's just a quick refurbish, but pretty cool. Anybody can do something like that. But we're going to be working with the Work Sharp, the knife grinding attachment here. I'm going to show you how I do it. Give you a quick tutorial. I've uploaded a video. It's probably one of my most popular videos that I have on how to sharpen professionally with these guys. I created my business off of these, so I'll show you how I use them and why I like them so much. So we'll get you up in the stand and show you how it's done. Try to get you guys in focus. All right, so I'm running the Work Sharp, the Elite knife grinding attachment, and I run 4-belt progression. Fourth belt's right there. I don't have 4 machines. 3 machines works just fine. First belt, I get a lot of questions on my belt progression. So X65. So Work Sharp does, I buy all my belts from Work Sharp. They seem to be the best. I've tried different brands. I've tried different makers. The Work Sharp seems to last the best. X65, that is a 220 grit. X22, 1000 grit. The X4 white, that's a 3000 grit, and the gray, that's a kind of like a strapping belt, is 12,000. So that's what I run. That will get you a mirror finish every time. That will reprofile, that will polish, it does it all. So the reason I like Work Sharp, the reason I like the belt, a lot of people say, oh, I can get a faster grind using a stone. BS, you cannot. I can do this in about 60 seconds. I can get from dull and crappy all the way up to a mirror finish, sharp, reliable, durable. Like I said, 60 seconds. You're not going to do that with a stone. You're not going to work through progressions like that. I'm running a business. I agree that you're going to get a sharper, finer point or finer edge with stones, but at the end of the day, I'm running a business, which means time is money. I do not have time to run knives on stones. I just don't. It's messy, it's time consuming, and when I'm running this many knives, I can be done in 35, 40 minutes. And like I said, time is money. I have an hourly rate that I try to achieve. And if I was using stones, can't do it. So if you're doing it as a hobby at home to sharpen your knives, great. If you're doing it as a business, belt sharpeners, you look across the industry, someone's either using a Tormek, which is a stone, a rotary stone, or they're using belts. That's the two things. You're not going to find a professional knife sharpener that's doing it as a business running flat stones, water stones, wet stones, oil stones, whatever you want to call it. So that's the way it is. I get a lot of comments on that people can out sharpen me. Great, that's your prerogative, but I guarantee you're not. That's not tooting my own horn. That's just the facts of the nature. So why else do I use these? Because it gives a convex edge. It means that it's going to be kind of curved instead of flat pointed, which means it's going to be a more durable edge. The more convex it is, the longer that edge is going to be retained. It's going to be stronger. So people put them in the dishwasher. That's the way it is. We're lazy. People are lazy. So I'm lazy. I put my knives in the dishwasher. But if you put a very fine edged knife in the dishwasher, it's prone to chip. If it bangs into something, it's going to chip. If you have a convex edge, it gives a little more meat behind the edge, and it's going to last a little bit longer. It's going to be sharper longer. So that's another reason. It's not severely convex, but it's just enough to help retain the edge. People get hung up on the angle. What angle do you use? How do you know which angle you are? I run about 99% of all my knives at between 17 and 19 degrees. That's going to give a good, long, durable edge to most of your kitchen knives. Pocket knives, I run a little bit more obtuse. I'll run 22 to 25, depending on what kind of steel it is. But generally, you catch a knife, 19 degrees, it's going to be fine all day long for you. So these are your flats. This is what kind of sets you up for your angle. From here to here is what's going to be your angle. You set it down here on there's a knob here that where's it at? Knob here on the side. You release the tension, you adjust but you're going to see me not use this. Why do I not use this? Well, it's a very good question. After sharpening several thousand knives, I've gained a muscle memory. This all stays at the same height. My stance stays the same. My movements stay pretty consistent. So I'm within a half a degree to a degree. Now, some people may argue that that's going to throw off the whole angle of the knife. It's not. It's convex edge, like I've stated. That edge angle can vary a little bit, and you're going to be just fine. It's going to cut at the end of the day. It's going to be sharp. I have customers that they come back yearly just to get their knives touched up. They use them daily. It works just fine. I have had no complaints. So, but as a new beginner, use this. You pick it up, roll in, flip. You can set it back down. Make sure you're at the right angle. Roll in, set it back down, and just keep working that. They say about 8 passes. That's really usually what I'm running. Now, when I'm over here, I'm using the 220 belt just to refine my edge. I'm creating that burr. I want to see that burr on the edge. I'm going to pass it several times. I'm going to keep even passes, though. I'm not going to lose track. So I may run 3-4 passes, flip it, 3-4 passes. I want to create that burr, make sure it's even all the way down from the back to the tip. That's all I'm using that one for. I run this at a little bit higher speed because I'm taking more material off quicker. The higher, or let's say this, the lower the grit, which means the coarser the grit, the faster you can run. The finer the grit, the slower you want to run. So typically these machines are going to be running a lot slower, usually the slowest setting. All right, so I'm going to do a time lapse for you. I'm going to get all these knives sharpened, and you can use your whetstones if you like and see if you can beat me. So another thing that I've seen a lot of people comment or I've heard about is, oh, you can't use belts without water. You're going to burn up the blade. You're going to destroy the temper. False. If you know what you're doing and you don't just sit there and grind in one spot, no, you're not going to heat up the belt, or you're not going to heat up the steel. Steel needs about 450 degrees-ish to destroy the temper or to damage the temper. Now, you saw me touch the edge. That was not 450 degrees. That was maybe a blustery 90 degrees. So working quickly through it, not holding it in one spot, keeping the blade moving, and not bearing down on it. Do not let the belts do the work. The belts are the abrasive. You're just the one guiding it. So not going to destroy the temper if you're doing it right. Trust me, I've yet to put any temper into a knife, or so you're going to start seeing that straw color, then a little bit more purplish and like a reddish purple. Yeah, you're not going to do that if you're doing it right. Belts, how long do these belts last? About 200 blades, give or take. Depends on the steel. One knife that you saw, this knife, high carbon steel, it's gonna sharpen a lot easier. You saw it throwing the sparks and the cool fireworks. High carbon is gonna sharpen a lot easier than stainless steel. It's milder, softer, if you want to call it that. Stainless steel is a little bit harder and harder on the abrasives, but 200 knives ish, you're good to go. So I'm going to put this final belt on, wrap these knives up, and I'll show you how I do the two serrated knives here at the end. Okay, those are done. Move you out of the way. Always wear some sort of respiration. I wear those half masks because stainless steel contains chromium, which is a heavy metal, and you don't want that in your lungs. All right, so we have a ceramic rod. This is not a steel rod. This is not what comes in your knife kit. This is ceramic. That's what we sharpen our bread knives, our serrated knives on. So we're going to find the flat side, not the side with the scallops, the flat side. We're going to hold it at such an angle that as you pass it up, you hear that. We don't want it to sound like that. We don't want to feel it, but we want to just graze. Do this 50, 75, 100 times. Kind of has a sawing motion through and up. There's a bunch of tutorials on how to sharpen serrated knives. I find this the fastest and with the best results. Okay, then I take it over to my 2x72. I have a leather belt, and I kind of just get in those scallops with some buffing compound. I see people using the work sharps for it. I would advise not to because it's not designed for that. You can use a piece of cardboard and run it like on the edge of the table, up that with some stropping compound on it. Do whatever it takes to strop that inside. So I will be right back. All right, we spent some time. We got in there in those scallops and we buffed it up. Took some rare earth ghost spray, otherwise known as mineral spirits or denatured alcohol, whichever is your flavor. And we made sure we got all the buffing compound out of there because nobody likes buffing compound in their bread. At least I haven't found anybody that does. So the way you test this, if you're squeamish, look away, but you take it against your fingernail and just see it catches, doesn't slide. If it slides, it's not sharp. If it catches and doesn't want to pull, that is sharp. So we're good with that. I'm going to finish these up, get them all packaged up. I'll show you how I package these. We'll be right back. All right, so we got everything sheathed up. We did our invoice. I switched from carbon copy invoice over to QuickBooks about a year ago. I got tired of taking all the carbon copies and having to input them into QuickBooks. It's just a big hassle. If I do everything through QuickBooks, I can print an invoice here and slide it in with everything. I get my sheaths. I believe it's Noon Sharpening. It's out of Ohio. Noon, I believe. I have to double check. It's been a while since I placed an order. But that's where I get these paper sheaths. Instead of getting them from China, I get them from a U.S. source. Then just butcher paper them. It's the easiest way to keep everything nice and professional. Everything in. hand here. Invoice and a card, and these are ready to go. These are ready for the customer. So I have a drop box that this all goes into. So right there, customer comes, picks it up. I will put their name on it so that they can see it when they open the drop box, but for their privacy, I'm not going to put that on for this video for obvious reasons. But that's how you do it professionally. That's how you get these out the door. I mean, what better presentation for your customer than right there? Instead of just a bunch of knives sticking in a box that they have to carry back to their car, then drive around with. Right there. That's the way you do it. That's the way you make money professionally on the side as a business or just as a hobby. So thanks, guys. Love you all. I'm so happy that we made it to 1,000 subscribers. Without you guys, I mean, we're making headwind here. So keep it up. Keep up the great work. Keep those comments coming. I'd love to see what you guys are saying. I've had a lot of people that have started businesses and they've used my videos to inspire them and to do that. So it's really great to see that. Just keep it up, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.